In this video, I'm going to discuss the best and the worst elements in the entire game of Genshin. Now, I'm going to do this a bit differently, so I'm going to go from the worst all the way to the best of the elements, so watch until the end, obviously. And for each element, I'm going to say the worst character of that element, and then the best character of that element. This means that the worst character of the worst elements might not be the worst character overall. You get what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Moving on. Let's get it started. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. As far as I'm aware, you got nowhere, you buddy. So get in there. Get in my Twitch, follow up, subscribe. Have a great day. Now, this is an expected one, but for the worst element in the whole of Genshin, we have got the element of Geo. Right now, Geo is in such a stale state. I think I've made like 2 videos in a row now. This is the third one, shit talking Geo. I'm sorry, I wish it was good. I love Ito, but unfortunately, it's just not there. Now, the worst Geo unit, in my opinion, is going to have to go to Ningguang. Now, Ningguang fans are going to absolutely blatter me in the comments on why she's good. Get your cope in there, mate, because she's not good. She's not meta. Now, I could have put a character like Noelle in, but Noelle technically provides a shield, and if you've got Noelle with a shield, she has a Geo one, which can be viable at times, but you know, you might as well just upgrade. But it could be argued that Yunjin is the worst character. I'm just kind of nitpicking all Geos at this point. But yeah, it would have to go to Yunjin and Ningguang. But I would say Ningguang because she's damage focused, and Yunjin actually provides buffs. Now moving on to the best character in the whole of Geo is obviously Zhongli. He takes the crown in every single aspect. His shield is immaculate. If you're not wearing it, you're gonna get messed up, just saying. If you don't have Zhongli in this day and age, you really need to start investing, mate. I mean, I guess you can cope with other shields, but Zhongli outclasses. He does a bit of his own self-damage as well. What's not to love about this granddad on the fucking game? Now, the second worst element in the entire game has to go to Cryo. Cryo has its good characters and has one of the best DPS characters in the whole game. So why am I shitting on it? Cryo is really just... Cryo has its reactions like melt, but many Cryo characters aren't built in melt teams, they're more built in freeze teams. With the way the meta is going, most newer enemies are unfreezable for some reason, which I hate. I wish they were because I love freeze teams. But the way it's going, most new enemies are unfreezable, so are like every single boss. It's just they're unfreezable. Yeah. Cryo's kind of at a weird standpoint right now. Now on to the worst and best characters of the Cryo element. For the worst Cryo character in the whole of Genshin Impact. Okay, aside from Aloy doesn't count. But I think the worst Cryo character in the game would probably have to be Chongyun or Charlotte. Now my reason for Chongyun is that he's meant to be like kind of like a damage dealer. He really does not work great on pretty much any team in the whole game. And I'm sorry Chongyun, you're getting left in the dust, man. Getting left behind in the dust. And Chi-Chi's just biased. I just hate Chi-Chi. She can decently heal, I guess, but that's really it. Better off using like any other healer in the whole game. Now for the best Cryo character in the whole game right now is top tier by far Ayaka, bro. Amazing DPS, amazing Cryo application. What's not to love, man? Obviously people don't really like her as a character that much, but when she does damage, she gets it done. She gets the job done. She's just insane. If you build her right, she's insane. No doubt to that. You can just stack crit damage on her. Be a little mindless animal. I'm really sorry I have to put this as third worst, and my main character is of this element. But the next worst element has to go to Pyro, unfortunately. Pyro isn't even that bad. Pyro isn't a bad element of such because, you know, we're moving on. But with the way the meta's moving, you know, Pyro got left back in the Zuma, I think, but it still works now. Now, Pyro probably used to be one of, if not the best element in the whole game, you know, before Dendro, before all of this. And Pyro was really good. Pyro was like the offensive element. Like most characters most Pyro characters, you build attack on them because they're made to be damage dealers. Now, Pyro kind of got outclassed when, you know, new stuff added into the game just kind of destroyed Pyro and its viability. But I'm not saying it's not viable because it really is if you've got the right characters. So anyways, moving on to the best and worst characters of the whole Pyro element. Worst Pyro character in the entire game has to go to D-Lugar, you thought, bitch. Everyone is about to spam in the comments, calling me an idiot, calling me slurs, revealing my location. But rest assured, D-Lugar is not the worst. The worst Pyro unit in the Yellow Blooming game is Xinyan. It's obvious answer, like, she's horrible. Sorry if you play her, I don't think anyone does. But if you do, oh, I just feel sorry for you, mate. How did you get attached to her, man? She's got no quests, no storyline. Like, you had to go, like, you're forcing it. I don't care what you say, you're forcing it, man. Trying to be different. Like, no way. You like Xinyan? I originally was thinking about putting Toma in here, but Toma actually does provide some stuff. Like, he's got his shield, he's got his normal and charge attack damage bonus from his shield at C6, I think. While it's not great, it's pretty much better than Xinyan. And Amber's a free character. I don't feel fair putting Amber in there. Now, moving on to the best Pyro character in the entire game. It has to be a tie between Bennett and Zhangling. Now, personal preference has to go to Zhangling for me, but this isn't about personal preference, okay? I think realistically it's a tie between them two because they both provide different uses extremely well. Zhangling's power application is unmatched by any other character, and Bennett's attack bonus and his healing is also matched by no other character pretty much. It's great. It's amazing. They're both amazing units. If you haven't built them yet, what are you doing? Get on it now. Maybe you'll hit some good damage for once. Now we move on to the top 4 elements in the whole game, in my personal preference. Number four spot goes to Electro. Electro was probably the worst element in the game for a really, really long time because of its poo reactions, like Overloaded and Superconduct, which only work with other physical teams. Or like, I mean, I guess Overloaded. But yeah, when Superconduct and Overloaded are your only reactions, you're really messed up. Dendro changed all of that. I am telling you. Hyper Bloom, Quicken, Quick Bloom teams, that changed Electro characters in a way that has just not been seen in the game before. Electro being given this massive buff was so nice to see, and I'm so happy it exists because now I can use my Electro characters and think they're doing so much more damage and they're just so much more viable now in the meta. It's great. It's just beautiful. I love Electro. It's pretty. I like the low purple colors. Yeah, it's my vibe, you get me. Plus Inazuma is like my favorite region. That's besides the point. No personalization here. Now on to the best and worst characters of the Electro element. Okay, I sound like a fucking nerd. The worst Electro character in Genshin Impact has to go to Razor. I'm sorry, bro, but you get outclassed by even Dory because at least she like heals. Like, come on, man. How are you getting beat by Dory? That's sad. That's disrespectful, bro. Now, it is really difficult to choose the best Electro character because there are quite a few good ones, and in their own scenarios, they are really good. But I think we all know what the number 1 Electro character is, and that's the Raiden Shogun, man. Her playstyle is fun, her damage is really good, and with her constellations, she just becomes an actual like thunderstorm. You can't beat it, mate. You just can't beat it. Obviously, really good with Dendro with a hit E. Really good Electro application. You already know. It's just great. Shreds through enemies and shreds through the abyss. She's one of my favorite characters of all, to be fair. But yeah, amazing character, amazing damage. Wonderful. Now moving on to the top 3 elements in the whole game. Number 3 spot is, drum roll please, Dendro. Dendro takes the number 3 spot. Ever since Dendro has been added, so much more stuff has been viable, so much more teams have been viable, and it just adds just more, like, brings them back. It revived a lot of characters that were trashed behind, but at one point it was kind of too good to not use. But like now there's so much team flexibility, it's okay. You don't have to use Dendro, even though I kind of said that in a different video. Now it's fine because of Spiral Abyss and stuff. But yeah, Dendro, 3rd place. No, like I said, nothing personal here. I'm putting it in 3rd place. Now the worst Dendro character in the entire game of Genshin Impact is Kave. Even though Kave is an amazing architect, he can't build himself a foundation to stay in the meta. Because Jesus, mate, he's not that good of a character, is he? Because, mate, he's just not that good of a character, is he? You could argue he's tied with Kirara, but yeah, Kave is just not there. At least Kirara has a shield. Like, Kave, what do you do, bro? You do nothing. Sorry, Kave fans, but it's the truth. Now, everyone knows the best Dendro character, and that is Nahida. Nahida is like the support right now. If you want to have a good team with good, amazing damage, and it's obviously got Dendro in it, please use Nahida. You'll get so much bonuses, and I'm jealous of you because I don't have her. Even though I remember everyone saying on her banner, everyone's like, yeah, no, don't pull for her, bro. She's ass. She's not even that good. She's not even that good. She's the best support in the game. What do you mean she's not good? I got sabotaged and I don't have her, and she hasn't got a rerun for ages now, and I'm crying. Now onto the second and first best element in the whole game. Number 2 spot is Anemo. For number 2, we are going straight to Anemo. Anemo is just an amazing utility element, and it is so good paired with like VV. Anemo characters are like one of the best in the whole game. as a whole. With the buff they provide, they are basically a necessity on every single team, except for Geo teams. I'm sorry, but you can't react together. You're not a match for each other. Anemo is amazing at, you know, increasing damage, providing elemental application. It's just, Anemo is there to care for you when no one else will. When your team is shit, Kazuha will come out and bum all the enemies that you're fighting, and I've seen it happen live. Now, the worst Anemo character in the whole game, in my very humble opinion, Sayu. I don't care, she's going straight to the bottom. She is so bad compared to any other Anemo character on the list. Outclassed by everyone and everything. Sayu's probably like got the position of one of the worst characters in the whole game. Low key. Who uses Sayu? Get your irrelevant NPC ass off of Genshin if you use Sayu. Actual robot. Now onto the best Anemo character in the whole of Genshin Impact. We are going to have to go straight to my bro, Kaedehara Kazuha. Now you could argue him and Sucrose are on the same level, but Sucrose can be C6 and be like pretty much the same level as Kazuha. But if you get Kazuha's weapon and even like constellations, he is so far in front of everyone and everything. You've won the game if you have Kazuha and his constellations and his weapon, or either. Kazuha is just an amazing support. He provides EM, provides increased damage, and just provides application for when you need it the most. Now obviously, if you've watched the video, you know that number one is going straight to the Hydro element. Hydro is like the foundation of every single reaction in the game. And if you have a Hydro that's decent, you can get away with having so many teams and so many team compositions, because Hydro's there for you. While it's not the best offensive element in the game, this is just the best overall element. And talking about sub DPS, support terms, you can't beat Hydro, and that's factual. And that's coming from me, Brainiac. Obviously, if you think any element's better, get a life, mate. You're just coping. You're just glazing. I could argue Dendro. Now, there are a lot of good Hydro characters, but in my opinion, the worst and the best have to go to the worst Hydro character in the entire game goes to Candace. Obviously, Barbara would be there, but she's free, so it doesn't count. Candace is probably the worst Hydro in the entire game. I don't really have a reason for it other than like her kit is made for a team that does not exist yet. And that might sound really weird to say, but I think Candace has such unique utility where she like makes normal attacks into Hydro, and no one really can utilize that right now. There's a very small percentage of characters. So for now, Candace, you're going on the bottom of my list of Hydro characters. You are the worst of the best, and I think that's an achievement to make, because at least you're not at the bottom. Stay perceiving, and maybe one day you'll be great. Now this is a really difficult decision to make, talking about who's the best Hydro character, because I'm kind of saying who's the best of the best. Now I think the number one position is actually a tie based on what kind of role you're trying to get. If you're trying to get damage and application off, Yelan beats in every single way. There's no chance, not even fighting it. Don't even compare Yelan's Hydro application to anyone else, because they will lose in every single right. Now Farina could actually be one of the best Hydros, but like I don't really know much about Farina. So if you think she's the best, let me know in the comments and argue. I like arguing. So in terms of healing, Kokomi is probably the best. In terms of overall damage and application, Yelan takes the crown every single day. That about wraps up my opinion for today. If you liked the video, please like it. If you've got any suggestions for what I should talk about next, obviously comment that down below. If you agreed with what I said, let me know. If you disagreed, let me know what is your list. I want to hear your opinion on this. People just talk about what characters are the best, but not actually like, you know, what elements is actually the best. It's a cool thing to think about. Maybe Navia will take Geo from the bottom. Obviously, thanks for listening to me, app. Once again, get a like in, get following the Twitch in the description, and as always, have an amazing and blessed day, because I'm here for you and you're here for me.